What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Shopper channel, coming to you with another edition of Ladies, Leans, Lights, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video, goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. Felt like I did a sharp thing here today. Obviously jumped pretty heavily onto the Texas money line side. Took the under of strikeouts for Grayson Rodriguez. He gets completely lit up. We cashed both of those. And then, well, we roll out our righty lineup against Framber Valdez, who has a 4-hit prop at a number of books. And, well, shorted some of the righties. And, of course, 2 of them, it goes single for Willie Castro, home run for Kyle Farmer. Luckily, only half unit plays there, but still, over 10 units going into the evening here in the MLB streets after 4 days. That's good stuff. That's really exciting to me, and that's the goal of this video here, even in the late stages of MLB, to find you value, to help you win. I actually don't even have a play on a specific team here for Philly and Atlanta, for Arizona, LA, but hey, we got the lock through on the Clayton Kershaw under, well, I feel bad about it, under 4.5 Ks. Guy doesn't get more than 1 out in the entire game. Pretty wild stuff. Just didn't have it, and, well, we made money off of it. Anyway, bet $365, bet $5 to get yourself $150 in bet credits. That's also great stuff. Only if you're 21 and over, and if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. But only 6 states where that is available. We got Kentucky, new to the fray. Welcome to sports betting. Always good stuff. Then you got Colorado, Iowa, New Jersey, Virginia, and Iowa. Did I say Iowa already? I don't think I did. Either way, 6 states, fantastic stuff here for Bet365, damn good find. So I can tell you one more time, bet $5, get $150 in bet credits. That's really all I have to say about that. Let's talk a little baseball here. It's going to be a wild couple days here with the MLB playoffs. Watching some NBA preseason, getting ready for NBA Lindy's. It is time. And then NFL, Monday Night Football. We'll be paying attention to all of the things here. But I'm going to be staying busy here on the Odd Shopper channel, as well as a lot of my colleagues. Check out all their great content, great videos. Maybe check out the premium Discord while you're at it. Stochastic.com/Lindy. Link in the bottom. Come hang out. Come sweat some bets. Let's go make some money together. Alrighty, y'all. 2 games, lots of plays, interesting stuff. I've got a lock, a like, and a lean in one game in particular, and then just one play outright, because I still don't know what I want to do with it. Some more research. Want to kind of see how the lineups roll out. Enough talking about it here at the top. Let's get to the picks. Our day begins early, 6:10. We're looking at like a 6:10 first pitch here. All right, let's fire it up. 3:10 out on the West Coast for the people. But Phillies, Braves, Zach Wheeler, oh baby. We've been backing him quite a bit here in the playoffs of late. Did it this year, did it last year, nonstop. Can't remember a time that we didn't have Zach Wheeler on the card and the Phillies on the card in some of these undervalued spots. Miami, yes, please. But Atlanta's kind of a different beast because, yes, the bats have been quiet in the playoffs going back to last season facing them. And then one game, not very good. Game 1, absolute destruction by the Phillies. Just saying, Zach Wheeler's not exactly going to help them, but the lineup on the Atlanta side also pretty darn difficult. So I'm not really sure. Some push and pull here as you've got a 278x WOBA, but a 26.9% K rate, 5% walk rate. Zach Wheeler's one of the best pitchers in baseball, especially come playoff time. As for Max Fried on the other side, didn't know when or how we were going to get him utilized within this series. He has not pitched since the 21st of September. He is going to start this game. He's got a blister on his hand. How much length can they get out of him? He went 96 pitches on the 21st, but that was over 2 weeks ago. Interesting. We're going to be on high alert to that. But if that opens way to a bullpen scenario, just saying, this could be a really, really low scoring type game by Philly and Atlanta Braves standards. I think the Phillies have just enough in their pen where they can turn around some of these guys on the Braves side. And then, well, Zach Wheeler's just somebody that I like to back. And Max Fried, when healthy, has been outrageous. First of all, he's lefty. That neutralizes Harper Schwarber. He's also got a 258x WOBA and a 3.8% barrel percentage that if he qualified would be the best amongst starters in all of baseball. So just saying, Max Fried has that dude in him. I just don't know how much length we're going to get out of him here. So I think I'm going to just kind of tread lightly. Again, that's what we did in the first game of this series, even though I ended up with a small play on the run line there for Atlanta. You can just burn that ticket, that's for sure. But for the most part, been a solid postseason because caution in some of these places where, yeah, you want to force in some plays because they're the only baseball games there. But we want to be very, very selective. And we got to have strong reasoning because good bets can still lose. Bad bets can still win. But we want to make fewer bad bets, and that just requires, when you only have 2 games, the lines become more efficient, that we be very selective with our plays. So this one, I think, stands out purely because you look at the game environment starting to cool down in Atlanta as we get into October. Under 8. I don't think there's going to be a lot of run valuation here. Might be looking to short some batter props depending on how they look across the industry. But specifically, I want to know how far Max Fried can pitch into this game. If it turns over to a bull situation, that's just fine by me. And Max Fried, if he's got it going, you just ride the hot hand there. And he's been the best pitcher on this staff year in, year. Well, Spencer Strider has the best strikeout stuff, no doubt about it. But Max Fried, his predictability this season has been an all-time high, a very tight standard deviation on the bell curve. If you don't know what I'm talking about, who gives a shit? Under 8, that's the play. Good stuff. Super, super quick. I know I talked about them on the onset. There's only 2 games, but you bet 5, get 150 in bonus bets. We're going to talk a long time about this Dodgers game. Going to spend a good 4 or 5 minutes at least covering the ins and outs of that one, because I got a lot of plays from it. I got a lot of interest in props there. We started with that standard under 8. You want to fire that up over at Bet365, bet $5 on it. And then you're going to get yourself 150 in untapped bonus bets that you can fire up in that late night matinee. That's literally redundant. That's redundant. Not even literal. It is redundant. But there's also this first bet safety net, so you can take this opportunity as well. Say you want to just fire up more of your bankroll there, or you have a larger bankroll than most people, you can fire up to $1,000 in bonus bets at Bet365. Really good stuff overall. It's only available in the 6 states that I talked about earlier. I repeat, it's going to be Colorado, it's going to be Iowa, it's going to be Kentucky, it's going to be Virginia, it's going to be New Jersey, and it's going to be, now I forgot the last state, Iowa. Did I forget Iowa again? Whatever. I went to Iowa State. Brees Hall's good at football. It's only if you're 21 and over, 18 and over in Kentucky. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Already, all to the late night game we go. We got a lot to cover. Going to be exciting baseball here. Again, both home teams in the NL losing game 1, flipping the series. Home field advantage going to these road teams. And these are obviously divisional rivals as well. The Arizona Diamondbacks taking on the Los Angeles Dodgers. I am super excited for this one, mainly because, my guy, Zach Gallen, we have been backing him all year. For the last 2 years, we've been backing Zach Gallen pretty routinely. Plus 139, I am very strongly considering pulling the trigger on that one, but that isn't even making the lock, like, or lean section of this program. Just want to throw it out there from the get-go. There are some issues, if you will, with Zach Gallen in this ballpark specifically that don't really show up in Chase Field, and I'll just kind of get to the ins and outs of that. On the other side of this one, Clayton Kershaw gets completely lit up for the Dodgers in game 1. We take advantage, cash the lock there in this one, and I'm very confused by this line for Bobby Miller. Bobby Miller, been really good when starting, sub 1-1 whip, 354 expected slugging, 288 xWOB, a 6% barrel percentage, but just a 23.6% K rate going up against an Arizona team that repeatedly is getting 5.5 K props hung up against them, and I don't understand it. 6.5 Corbin Burns, 5.5 Freddie Peralta, 4.5 Clayton Kershaw. You know what we've done? We've cashed them. We've cashed them straight across the board. I drink it your milkshake. I drink it up. Well, Daniel Day-Lewis for everybody's enjoyment. We are talking in Hollywood here, of course. So Bobby Miller, I don't understand this line in any way, shape, or form. So we're going to short it again for like the millionth straight time, minus 145. If you're looking to parlay anything, if you want to take the under from the previous game, if you want to combine it with anything, and you don't want to be laying, 1.5 to win 1, I get it. But I'm going to. You absolutely need to have this in play for you. So I know that we've got the graphic that's going to get fired up here, and when we put all the plays together and do all of the things. But I want you to know from the get-go, Bobby Miller, lock button under 5.5 Ks. But that is not all that I am looking at here, because my guy Zach Gallen, as much as I love him, he's going into one of the most homer-friendly ballparks in baseball over the course of a 3-year rolling sample size over at Baseball Savant. I think that's what I'm going to end up covering on Lindy's Locks update. I'm not going to win every single bet, but we've been up pretty nicely throughout this postseason by being selective and also by being very, very sharp about small specific things, whether it's a Jordan Alvarez with the roof closed, a phenomenal opportunity to fire that up. That just comes from research, things that Obviously we have the spreadsheet that does a lot of these factors and bakes in projections for it at Stochastic, at OddsShopper with the market-based approach, being able to find numbers that are just off at certain books where we can take advantage of that. And they're obviously probably good values in those kind of situations. But Zach Gallen has a home run, 46.2% hard hit percentage, 9.2% barrel percentage, and 12.3-degree launch angle problem. And it's showing up especially against righties, which is a little bit surprising when I looked into the data. On the surface, 130 ISO against righties, that would be awesome. A 161 ISO against lefties, that would make sense considering he's a right-handed pitcher. You'd have that issue. But you go to the hard hit data, a 163 expected ISO, pretty much in line with his ISO there against lefties, but a 184 expected ISO against righties. Expected to be much hotter in LA, 85, 90 degrees here over the course of tomorrow, 85 degrees, 84 degrees at first pitch. The ball should be flying to some extent here, and that's the main reason I haven't pulled the trigger on the plus 139 here, but I did pull the trigger on somebody who projects out phenomenally well for me from a home run perspective. It's JD Martinez, 292 expected ISO against against right-handed pitching, 292 expected ISO against righties. That's in line with Max Muncy at 293 expected ISO, who's a lefty there, has 25 homers against lefties. But JD Martinez, he's up to 24 homers on the season from the right side, and he's getting a much worse price than what Max Muncy has across the entire industry, and I don't understand it. I really like what we're getting here with JD Martinez. Anything better than plus 275 would be in play for me here, and you're looking at that being like the Max Muncy price of admission, and I really don't want any part of that. So get the better number with JD Martinez from the right side, considering the expected ISO, the ballpark profile, and the temperature that we're looking at for the Dodgers tomorrow. So I want to be firing that up, and that's not all. Mookie Betts at least needs an honorable mention here, considering his numbers are actually worse than Max Muncy's as well. I want to be possibly investing in him, who has had a phenomenal season up to this point. Again, another righty that just profiles decently well with that 242 expected ISO against righties. Yeah, it's not the 292 we have from JD, and he's batting first in the lineup, so you're not getting as nice of a number, but I'm leaning on that one as well. So I have a trifecta of props, one that got locked, one that got bet, and one that I'm kind of waiting, want to see if the number can get a little bit better across the industry for it. But Bobby Miller, we want to take the under there. JD Martinez think he goes yard here up against Mr. Zach Gallen, as much as I love Zach Gallen. And Mookie Betts, have that one on your radar as well. Don't think the books drop the best lines to from the get-go here, but they might get bet quick. So get on those props right now. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. You know what to do. Go to that comment section below. Let me know what your favorite play here is for Monday's slate of baseball games. We're talking the NL Game 2s. We're going to be getting to AL Game 3s there on Tuesday. Pretty crazy to think about my Twins are up 3-0 already. It's so beautiful. But also, two of the batting props that I took lost. Nothing like shorting your own team. That feels good. Hey, it feels good to be up profit. I'm keeping track of all my units, keeping track of everything over on X for this entire postseason. Go follow me at Eric Lindquist. Check out all the other great content we have here for Monday Night Football. I'm going to be firing Lindy's Locks update up for the MLB and NFL streets here coming over tomorrow. So at Eric Lindquist, that's where you can find me. Thank you to producer Jacob. Didn't give him love at the beginning of the show. Are you feeling left out, baby? Okay, that's nice. It's professional. Anyway, until next time, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB streets on Monday.